Will you look back when you're old and gray and think those dumb kids had a lot to say when we were trying to make this night one you'd remember? I don't care if my wheels don't turn, I don't care if my pipe don't burn, as long as I am flowing through your veins after I'm gone away.
Thursday night, and you know what that means.
Hey we're going to get straight into it. Sorry, we're a few minutes late, but I'm just going to get straight into it, bring James on. James from Scare Seekers, how you doing?
Hello.
Yeah, not too bad.
Hello. Announce some stuff that's going on before we get into this review of this Goosebumps.
Yeah, I can do. So Scare Seekers is officially back as proper podcast, which is great. Yeah, all three of us back again. We're going to be doing it a little bit less frequently just to work with our schedules and stuff. So I think it's going to be about every 6 to 8 weeks. So it means we'll have a lot to talk about in different episodes. Might be a bit confusing because basically I had to create like a whole new feed for it, which means the original episodes are on the original like Spotify and Apple and whatever, but the new ones are going to be on a new Spotify separately, both called Scare Seekers. So if you just type in Scare Seekers, you'll probably find the other one as well. And then you can listen to all the new stuff. So
yay! Oh, so happy you're back again, though. Honestly, I was like, yes.
So, oh god, can you just? This is unprofessional. I try to get clips of the episode. So anyone who's not seen this episode, there will be clips and photos while we talk. Can you just get my notepad from upstairs? I made so many notes on this episode.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry about that. And we might get a parcel today during the show, but I don't know. But yeah, I don't know how to start because you hadn't watched a Goosebumps episode before, had you?
No, not really. Yeah, this is my first kind of like Goosebumps or like anything like it. Like, Are You Afraid of the Dark or anything? I haven't really watched anything like that before. So yeah, it was really interesting to watch for the first time.
Because I got some photos and I've got some clips as well to play as well. But I'll have my notes in a minute. I made so many notes on this because I was like, so we're just gonna go through the whole episode. It's a 2-part episode, and I will put the description for it. It is on YouTube, and someone's done it all in one video. I'll put it in the description for anyone who's watching on catch up. But essentially, it starts in the middle. Yeah, it starts in the middle of nowhere. There's this random like school bus, and it stops just in the middle of nowhere. This driver's really scared, and he just kicks all the kids out. And they're just, I don't know, James. I don't know if you, because this is the first time you'd seen it. I'd seen this before.
Yeah, I mean, it was like it kind of started out with like a massive ominous vibe with that bus driver just to start with. Like, yeah, the fact that he almost like run them over while they were trying to like all get their bags and stuff. But yeah, so it already kind of sets it up for that kind of very, like you're going into something very kind of unnerving in a way, I guess.
And this screenshot, there's something watching them from the trees. You don't know what it is, and then you kind of see bits of this monster. That's what I'm going to say is for now throughout the whole episode. And then I'm going to play the first clip I've got, but it's a hell of an introduction to this character because I think this character is the best thing in the whole episode, to be fair. But I'll ask you in a bit about him. But yeah, I'll play the this clip that happens just after they see the monster. These kids just been left in the middle of nowhere. They don't know what they're.
Latest technology. Freaks them out every time. Hi, I'm Uncle Al. The camp director.
What did you think of Uncle Al? I thought he was brilliant. I don't know what you think.
Yeah. I mean, definitely great performance from him, and I kind of like as well how he goes from between like being really happy and like cheery to then kind of going more serious in a way, or almost because like later on in the episode he kind of like gaslights the main character Billy about like people disappearing, but he just goes to like really serious. But also, it's like very because was this the 80s when this?
It was
was out?
90s.
90s.
90, yeah, but it kind of has that kind of like feel to it in a way, like with some of the acting and stuff. But yeah, he's great and just really funny with the performance.
And he reminds me of he looks a bit like him, but he sounds exactly like Al Borland from Home Improvement. If anyone's seen that program. And so I'm going to run through what happens before like the big stuff happens, but and you can just jump in when you want, James. But I thought it was really it sets up Al to be quite quirky because he's walking them to the camp, and the boys and the girls separate different camps, and he's going on about the rules of the camp, and I just thought it was really weird. It was like lights out at 9, I think he said, or something like that. And then the last thing is write home to your parents every day.
Yeah.
It was really stern about it. He's like, every day write home to your parents.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like the thing I liked about the performance in a way that he was trying to. It felt over the top, but it felt like he was taking himself seriously, which is what made it funny in a way. I like how like a lot of those little rules and bits kind of build up to the twist at the end in a way, like because I gave it a rewatch just before this, and when you notice some of those like rules and things that he puts in place, like writing the letters home, it kind of makes sense for the twist at the end in some ways, but probably talk about that once we.
What did you think about the other? I mean, there's other like extras in it, but there's a character of boys to begin with. You got Billy, who's like the main one. He's like the generic main character who's going to be who we see the story through, and he hasn't really got main characteristics because I think we're meant to relate to what he's doing. And then you've got the one who's telling jokes all the time, no one's laughing at. And then you've got that's Roger. You've got Jay, who's the really sporty one. You've got Colin, who's like the biker dude one with the bandana.
Yeah,
and then you got Mike, who's like, I thought Mike, and we're going to go into it in a minute. I thought Mike was going to be like his little sidekick because Mike was kind of boring as well, like Billy was. Did you not think he was going to last longer than he did? I don't know. James,
yeah, I mean, to be honest, the snake kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
For me, like
oh, the internet's dropping a bit. I'll carry on talking anyway.
Oh.
Hopefully you can hear me.
I think your internet's going a bit slow, James. I was going to say, I've only just watched it not long ago.
You've only just watched it, yeah, so you could be...
I'm just like, yeah, I can relate to some things, but...
I don't know if James can hear me. I don't know if it's James' end or mine. People will tell me, but Erie and Indiana was good as well. But basically, I'll carry on the story for now. Basically, Mike gets bitten by a snake in the cabin, which... yeah, he gets bitten by a snake. What I found really funny was they got after he got bitten by the snake. There's a big like constrictor style snake, I think. Although they pass it off as venomous later on. They put it in a duvet and they throw it out of the window. And then they meet this counsellor called Larry. The first thing he says is, "He's throwing the laundry out the window. He's not too bothered about the snake."
Yeah.
So we're gonna try and get James back in a bit.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get him on in a minute. Bless him. Like you said, travel with Jones. Blame it on the snow. Yes, indeed. Is anyone else feeling the cold right now? Because I am absolutely frozen at the minute.
So just to build some lore, we do get Billy, who's the main character. He looks at the side of the cabin and written in like red. It's not meant to be blood, but it's written in red, and it says something about. Saber is hungry in the graffiti, and Saber's kind of passed off as this monster who may or may not be a werewolf. What did you think about how they were building up Saber? Because you've only just watched it this evening.
I thought they were going to make it like more unknown, because as eventually you do get to see parts of it as you go along this Saber. But obviously, it did seem quite concealed till like the very last minute, and then it was like, "Oh, is that it?" Sort of thing. Might
be able to make this bigger now. Until James will try and come back when he can. I think his internet's down at the moment, but
yeah.
No, I don't want to do that. No.
Okay. Ooh.
I'm trying to get it so I can make the picture bigger, but it's not going to work, is it? There we go. That'll probably be better set up till we get James back. So. The crew internet strikes again.
Apologies if you can hear the pigs again as well.
Oh yeah, it's very much like the quarry. I mean, I've got pages of notes here, but So I'm going to move on, and if James manages to get back and he wants to go over any of the stuff I've gone over, we can go over it. But then we move on to the campfire, which I think my next photo is. That photo is from someone the Saber watching them, and they get the campfire, and then Mike sat way over by a tree somewhere, and Billy goes over to him, and the counsellor's. But let's talk about this bit. He gives Mike some food, but Mike's been bitten by a snake, so he's not too bothered about it, to be fair. And then, he's back for now.
Am I back?
Yay. Oh.
Hello.
Oh.
Crew internet. Yeah.
If I take the overlay off, is the overlay starting it? No.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. We can hear you for now. It's all right.
You can hear me. Okay.
Keep talking.
Oh, so you can always take your video off if you want and just have the audio if that helps.
I could try and do that. Hold on. There you go. Now you can't see my face. There we go.
See if that'll work, because it seems like the audio doesn't sound as glitchy. There you go. Might help a bit. Go on,
so did you want to say anything about the snake scene before I move on? No? Can't hear him.
Oh, no.
Let's go back to what we were doing anyway.
I apologise about this.
So then...
Oh?
So then... Al seems really weirded out about... Just give him some letters or something.
I will do, but they're fine.
Al seems really weirded out about... Yeah, there we go. Can do it again. We'll carry on anyway. Al seems really mad about the fact that he's gone over to this corner to speak to Mike, and then he just says he's pretty much the equivalent of "that's just a flesh wound." But because Billy was caring for Mike, he's the #1 camper, and I don't know if I've got a photo of it. I think I have. We've got the forbidden bunk, which is like the place they're not allowed to go, and they walk past that, and then they hear some growling, and there's a monster. So that's that. And then basically in the morning, Mike's gone, and not only is he gone, his clothes are gone. His bunk's got no bedding on it.
It's just basically he's like gone completely AWOL, hasn't he?
Like in the morning, yeah, he's completely gone.
You don't know.
Now, bear in mind at this point, the other kids who are with him are saying, Where is he? But when he goes, and I thought this was a good shot, that's why I got the photo. But this is Larry, the other counsellor. Does that work?
Hello.
We'll see how long that lasts for.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. I think Stacey said, "Oh, the sound sounds better." Then literally as soon as she said that, just booted me out again, which is so funny. But yeah, I made sure to turn off the camera this time. Just so. Did
you want to say anything about the campfire before I move on to what's going to happen next?
Yeah, it was a very nice campfire.
Did you think Al was weird? That was the first point. I thought Al might not be what he came across as at the start.
Yeah, yes, because it was kind of funny that he said, "Oh, you were speaking during the song," but it's like he was like halfway across the field, which is just hilarious. So yeah.
So then Mike was gone at this point when you first watched it, and Mike was gone in the morning. What were you? Did you have any inkling where you thought the story was going?
I assume they fed it into Saber, maybe. Like they were kind of like knocking off the kids and then like feeding them to the beast in a way.
Because then Mike's gone. Larry pretty much makes out like there was never any one called Mike there. And then got the great shot of the antlers. Now, next we've got the baseball game. I don't know if you want to describe what happens in the base. Do you remember the baseball game?
Yeah. Hitting the back of.
We're losing them again.
You're hitting the back of that.
I've got a photo there. Basically, we have this baseball game,
yeah.
And Colin, who's like the biker guy with the bandana, he gets to third base, and Larry catches him out. But then Al tells Larry, "No, he's in," and Larry's really annoyed. So when he runs for home on the next hit, Larry just throws the ball as hard as he can in a slow-mo shot, right in the back of the head. And you see in this photo the dent in it. Colin falls to the floor and he's just completely out. And it's just like, yeah, it was quite brutal at that point, I thought. But
I think has anyone ever watched Impractical Jokers? Because I just felt like that's what it was slightly.
It did seem really
when the guy
dark
turned
compared to the
round.
rest of the episode so far.
Yeah, but when one of the guys on Impractical Jokers walks around and goes, Larry, Larry, because that's all I could think about with the baseball game was that he kept disciplining Larry to like don't play mean and stuff like that as well, which was the guy with the antlers behind his head. He was like, "What are you on about this guy? I don't know anything about this guy." This, you know.
But Colin doesn't go missing yet.
No.
So we had the baseball. It seems a bit weird now because I had all this planned stuff that we could relate with James. He might try and join back if he can. But they have to go back to nighttime and they're going past the hidden bunk again. And is this the time when? Yeah, this is the time when they actually go in the forbidden. They try and go in the forbidden bunk. No, that's it. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't feel I'd have to carry this whole episode myself. Basically, then they have to. Their cabin gets picked to sleep outside.
Yes.
At night time.
Yes.
Against the elements. So they're outside now without any adults.
Yeah.
And this is when, like a horror film, Roger gets picked off because this is the funny bit because Colin has been knocked out. I thought that was the way he was going to end in the episode, like that. He was getting written out because Mike got bitten and then suddenly he's disappeared. Colin's still with them and he's in his sleeping bag, but they have to carry him everywhere. It's quite comical. So him and Jay, who's the sporty one, Jay and Billy are carrying Colin around, and then they hear Saber and they're running from Saber, and I think Jay claimed he could see him and the teeth and everything.
Yes.
You don't actually see what happens to Roger, but this is where Roger gets picked off by Saber, and then Larry is about again, being a bit of a and he doesn't believe them about Saber because basically they're in the cabin, aren't they? And they get stuck in the cabin and they think Saber's at the door, and then Larry comes in, who's much scarier than Saber.
Yeah.
And he doesn't believe them about.
And he goes, "What are
Saber.
you doing in the cabin?" And they're like, "Well, we're hiding from Saber." There's literally one. Which one was it? Was it Colin that was in the sleeping bag?
Yeah. There's a great line from Larry where he goes, "Roger, I didn't even know the guy." So now he's blatantly saying, "Yeah, Roger doesn't exist either." And then after that, the next day they go to this because I've got another clip coming up. This is the bit where they go to the lake. But before they go to the lake, Billy decides there's something not right here. I'm gonna phone home. So he leaves Jay and Colin to go to the lake, canoeing, or I don't know. You wouldn't call it longboating, not canoeing, but there's a longboat, you know.
It is.
And
then they've got paddles and they're paddling.
So Billy leaves them and goes to a cabin where the phone is. And rather than tell you what's, I'm just going to show you this clip. And this is this kind of shows how Al's personality could just flip. Yeah, I'll just.
What are you doing, Billy?
I was just trying to make a call.
To your parents?
Just to say hi.
Well, that's not going to be much use, is it? I put it up as a joke.
Where's the real phone?
Well, no, that's just it. There is no real phone. Now, they're not going to put a line way up here. We're miles from anywhere. Are you homesick, Billy?
Yeah, I guess.
That's why I tell you to write the letters home. Have you been doing that?
Twice a day.
Good. Good boy. It'll make you feel better. Now, where are you supposed to be right now?
The lake?
You'll love it down there. You go down and join your bunkmates. Have yourself some fun, okay?
Uncle Al, did Larry talk to you about Roger?
Yeah, he did. I checked the files. There is no camper up here named Roger. No first name, no middle name, no Roger.
Well, that's not true. I mean, I know Roger. He was in my bunk.
Get to the lake, Billy.
Oh, what Gareth's put. Flames wouldn't know how to use them. Do you want to say what you said to me when that clip started playing about Al?
I feel like Uncle Al's a bit like the good cop, bad cop in most situations and throughout. But the fact that even just then, just the fact that he paused and just stared, and there's no background music, nothing, the timing was quite good, I thought. To a point where it did make me laugh a bit. I was a bit like, but it's like a nervous laugh, so...
So, I'm going to ask, because I can't bounce off James about this, although he might be in the chat. What does anyone who's not seen this, type in the chat so far what you think the twist might be?
Yeah, there's always with
it's on his phone.
Goosebumps.
Is that
if you
on
ever
his
watch
phone?
Goosebumps, there's
Hello. Yeah, one last ditch effort on my phone. Managed to get it up.
Hello from your talkie box.
What did you think about Al with the phone scene?
Oh, with the fencing. What?
The phone scene.
Oh, yeah, with the fake. I just realised my headphones aren't working as well, so I'll just take them off. Yeah, that was kind of interesting as well, because again, it kind of gave an explanation for the whole letter writing thing. But yeah, also just like a kind of another weird thing about the camp in a way, like just all these kind of weird things adding up throughout.
And also, what did you think about the baseball game? Did you think that was quite dark? When I first watched it, I thought that was quite. Oh, I suppose the episode is dark in a lot of ways, but it was a bit full on that this kid's just getting attacked by this full-grown counsellor's just going, right, I'm going to throw a baseball at his head.
Well, it's also the fact it must have been like a steel baseball or something. It made that much of a dent in the back of the helmet. Like, it's crazy.
It must have been so close.
Yeah, like it makes like a massive dent in the back of it. Like, it must have been.
Yeah, you'll have to start watching Goosebumps.
Start watching Goosebumps. Yes, you will have to. Over that, I'll read the books as well. The books are quite good. Yeah. Next scene. So we've done the baseball scene. I keep saying basketball.
No, we've got the. I don't know if Goosebumps is on Netflix. You can find most of them on YouTube. To be fair, I don't know if that's strictly legal.
There might be the movie on Netflix.
The movie's not as good as the series.
No, but I don't think it's quite the same as the series.
So the next scene, we're at the lake, and I don't know if I got a photo. I think I got a photo of the boat. Yeah, spoiler alert. This happens in a minute. Billy gets to the lake, and Jay and Colin are already in this boat. And then the weirdest thing about Larry shows up, and he's suddenly worried about their safety. So he gives this really old life. It's more of a life vest than a life jacket to Billy, and Billy's like, "This won't fit," and he throws out the life ring to the other two, and that's when they fall off the boat, ironically, trying to grab the life ring. And then Colin can't swim, and Jay decides, "Don't worry, I'm going to go down after him," and goes under after him. Did you think? I don't know what you thought was going to happen when this scene started, James.
I assume maybe Billy might have been able to save one of them, but I also love how Larry just like runs away when he accidentally pushes Billy in, and he's just like taking no responsibility.
Yes, I didn't see any of this. I was like, "Oh my word!"
I was never here. That was it. It was like, I was never here.
I was never here. I didn't see this. That was it. And then he ran off. He said it to himself twice, didn't he?
Yeah.
So
what, Larry or Al? Who do you think's going to be the boss of the aliens, Gareth? But what I thought here was, the first time I watched it, is Saber going to be more like some kind of swamp monster? Because now they're in water. And I thought a werewolf's not really going to do well in water. I didn't... Because we've not really seen anything yet. We've seen a few things when they've referenced the Forbidden Bunk. Also, I'll ask you now, because we went over it before, about the scene where they had to camp outside for the night.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually reminded me of some things we used to do with scouts. We did like bivouacking, where you had literally just like a sheet over you, not even like a proper tent or anything. But yeah, I found it funny as well how the one who got hit in the back of the head in the baseball game, he was just like in this like sleeping bag, looking like a worm or something. Like, it was just so funny. Yeah.
Were you happy when Roger got lost?
Definitely, yeah. I found him to be like one of the most annoying characters with the jokes and stuff.
I had a
just
quote
hated
earlier. I think I had a quote from earlier. It was when
That one, no.
no, it was when they had that. But do you remember the bit? There's when they first looked to the forbidden bunk, and Billy's saying to go in there, and this is after he's been called the number one camper, and Roger turns around and says, "This is a number one camper afraid of doing a number," and then he cuts him off.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I think I noticed that on the second time round. Yeah, funny little joke there.
I thought that was actually like I didn't think they did that on purpose, to be honest. But now
It might be. It does seem like the kind of thing where, do you reckon they
"Oh,
just went, yeah, say what you want, we'll keep it in if it's cringeworthy.
I didn't realise that.
Because after those two get drowned in the lake, he goes back to camp and no one's there. And there's some great, I guess you call it cinematography, where they have some weird spinning shots. And I remember there's specifically a shot, I didn't get the clip of it, where he's running towards the cabin and the camera's like just twists underneath him and watches him. So, what did you think about this bit? Because this is when the camera work kind of got a bit, not psychedelics, really not the word, but they kind of took some liberties and went a bit crazy with it.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like to show like the distress of the situation, way because like everyone's basically gone at that point. I remember another bit of cool camera work, which is a bit early on, which was when that George character like catches Billy, like the guy in the glasses, and it cuts. I think it's like I think it's like before an ad break or something. It was actually genuinely quite disturbing because it goes right up close to his face really suddenly, which was a good bit of camera work.
Yeah, that was when nearer the start when he realizes Mike's not coming back and all his stuff's gone in the morning, and he goes outside, and you think the jump scare is going to be a monster, and it's this guy who.
I thought he was like an undertaker.
I thought he was like a caretaker. Yeah.
I thought undertaker at first, then I thought, right, they're in a campsite, maybe like a caretaker or like maintenance guy, maybe. But yeah, it's quite good. I did like that angle. That was quite a good one.
And so he decides when no one's about, because no one's about anymore, he's going to go into the forbidden bunk, which is just like this big building. And considering it's forbidden and it's meant to be run down, it just seems like there's a lot of dust in there.
But, I was wondering as well, like, what's he going to do with that baseball bat if he finds Saber? Like, it looked like a plastic baseball bat, and like, what's he gonna do with that?
So I'm wondering if anyone else who's watching wants to tell me what they think the twist is going to be if you've not seen it before. Because Gareth thinks there's going to be a boss of the aliens. I'm surprised no one's actually suggested that someone is going to be Saber.
I think the bit with the boat. Just letting you know as you're saying this now, but. I think the one with the boat scene, when obviously I can't remember his name, the main character, when he goes in the water to get his other two friends that are already in there, I genuinely thought it cuts to a scene where he's actually in the water, immersed in it, holding his breath to look for his friends under the water.
Yeah.
And I genuinely thought there would be a shot there, like a sea creature or something, or sea devil maybe, coming at him. That's what I thought.
Or does anyone think
in my head?
Does anyone think Billy's going to be Saber? Don't know. They'll tell me. I've got the impression that everyone's just googling it now. They're just going to shoot it.
Yeah.
Then I thought, is it one of those sort of creatures that could be anywhere because it could be like in the water or like on land as well, a bit like a frog. And then I thought, oh god, is a frog going to come at me? On the screen, I'm like, that type of scenario.
I don't think it's in the same cinematic universe, Gareth, but it's a good guess. Could there be crocodiles involved? I kind of don't want to say what the twist is till it comes up at the end, but Gareth's getting involved. He thinks it's aliens or crocodile. It's good to see him trying to. Because this is my favorite episode of Goosebumps. That's why I kind of picked it. Because I usually don't. This was a two-parter, by the way. I didn't mention that. It's actually 2 episodes, but I think the twist is really good when we get to it because there's 2 bits to it. And it was just so nuts. But he's in the forbidden bunk, and he essentially. I should have mentioned this at the start. Really, I'll go back to this bit a bit disjointed because of James's internet and things like that. But at the start, before they split up from the girls, because the girls camp nearby, he gets to know. He talks to this girl called Dawn, and then he doesn't really talk to her for very long, but it must have been important to put her in, because then she turns up in the Forbidden Monk, and she's hiding out, and then Billy finds a box full of all the letters that people have been mailing home to their parents every day. And Dawn says some of them are from like 11 years ago. What were you starting to think at this point, James, about where the story could go when they found the letters?
I assumed it was maybe like a cultish camp in a way, and that's kind of like added on with the next scene as well, where they're all kind of searching for Dawn in a way. It almost felt like kind of like it was a cult camp, and like anyone who gets killed off, they're trying to like brush under the rug, or as I said earlier, possibly like feeding them to Saber in a way.
Did you have any thoughts about what was going to come up before? I mean, you've watched it, but before you watched it, well, at this point, where did you think it was going?
At first, I thought, oh, it's a creature that's in the deep, dark wood, and they're just going to get, proper cliche. Because I'm thinking it is for, like, younger generation to watch, as well as it's for, like, younger, older teen readers, I'd say, as well, for the books. So it's like, in my head, I was, like, simplifying it, thinking, well, I used to like watching, like, gory stuff, like Cabin in the Woods and stuff, and I thought, oh, it might be something silly, like a creature's on the loose, and then obviously the creature's then trying to get them. So hi, Manya. And then it's a bit, I don't know, I just thought it kind of developed from there. But when I saw the scene with the boat, I then thought, oh, wait a minute, is this creature like unstoppable, that's part of any element that can be in water as well as on land, and you can't stop it, there's no way of stopping it, whatever it is.
That's the thing, Gareth. So far we don't know what Saber is.
Yeah. So
say okay to Iconic Geek.
Hope you're okay, lovely. It's good to see you on here.
If she's
have you ever read any of the Goosebumps? Actually, I'm sure you have. I'm sure you said you had.
Just because I know,
oh, I remember these.
Just because I know she's going to know what we're talking about if we say it quickly. It's nothing to do with Goosebumps, but I still think Cody's going to finish his story.
Oh yeah.
As a parcel.
And
I did
there's
mention
our
that. Yeah.
knocking. It's Saber. I'll be taken away.
So I don't know how I want to go about telling people. Oh, he's going to IMDb it now. Oh, he's going to ruin it for himself. Well, I suppose you're ruining it if we're going to tell you anyway. So then he hears commotion outside, and he looks outside, and that photo probably doesn't do it justice. But now we've got Uncle Al, and the boys outside, and some of them have got like military suits on, and just got a parcel. It's not important to the show.
No.
So some of them have got. Yeah, he's going to finish the story.
Apologies, everyone.
And so he goes out there. I'm trying to not give the ending away because I don't want to go too far in the photos. He goes out there, and we've got Uncle Al out there, and the other counsellors in military gear. You can't really see his face here, but this weird guy we were talking about is the caretaker on the right. He's called George, but they only mentioned his name right near the end. They didn't mention George when you saw him, like when he did that weird jump scare, and then later on they're like, "Oh yeah, George." But got Uncle Al, and then I haven't got the clip of it, but I wish I did. He kind of just turns to these boys who are like between 8 years old upwards, I guess, and he's like, give the crossbows, one per boy. And they're like, what? Billy's like, what are you doing? And he goes, we've been told by the girls' camp, there's a girl missing, so they're gonna hunt her down. I just love how so far we're thinking about Saber and all this other stuff. Then Dawn's in that, he sees Dawn again, and then suddenly we're on Al, and he's like, "You're right, Billy." He's not worried about where Billy's been, or Billy doesn't ask why everything was gone when Billy went back. By the way, it wasn't just the people were gone; like the bedding was gone. There were no clothes or anything, no items or anything, and suddenly I don't being cynical about it, but you see Uncle Al here dressed like this. And they've got these little crossbows, and he's like, we've got to hunt down this girl who's missing from the other camp. What did you think at this point?
Yeah, again, I was kind of getting like the cult vibes with it, but almost like it's like an army cult in a way, weirdly. And also like because he was being so strategic, like I think the reason why he was going after Dawn was because she broke like the biggest rule of going into the forbidden cabin. So But yeah, like it kind of, I think all the way up to the reveal at the end, it kind of keeps building up really, really quickly from that scene onwards. Like first to get the crossbows, and then yeah, and then it just keeps building up from there, really.
And then I think I wrote down what he actually said because I've not got it in the clip.
Oh, he's reading his notes.
But I don't know if it is in the clip because I'm going to show a clip of the reveal at the end in a minute. But it's just there's some conversation that goes on, and he's like, "We're not going to kill her. These are tranquilizer darts and the guns." Did you think at that point that he was lying about them being tranquilizers?
Not really though, because it's like in the next bit, Billy points the tranquilizer towards him, and he's saying, "Oh, don't do that." But it's like, well, it's a tranquilizer, so like it would only knock him out for maybe like an hour or so. Like he was acting like it was going to kill him in a way, but I never really thought of like, oh, he might have been lying about it. I guess.
I'll tell you what, if
Yeah.
I think her name's Rain, because you call her Rania, but I'm sure you pronounce it
I
Rain.
think I call it Rania,
But if she ever wants to come on, we'll do a whole episode on the trope.
I would. Yes, you know we watched the trope because I messaged you about it as well. So yes.
But, back to this, I'm going to play the video of the ending, and if people want to watch this and not know what the ending is, then come back to this video at another time. But we might actually go back to this, and because I feel like this has been disjointed because of the internet connection and all other things. So I do apologize that people at home have not been as good as it could have been. But I'm going to play what happens at the end now. This is the first twist, because there is another twist at the end they didn't need to do, and that's why I love this. But this is the first basic. What's happened? I'm gonna, because I can't remember. I think this starts basically before this happens. He's got the crossbow and he's pointing it at Al, and he's asking Al what's happened to Roger and Colin and Mike. And I don't know if it's in the clip or not. That's why I'm saying it now. But Al says, there are no campers by these names, Billy. It's really selling the fact that these people he doesn't think existed at this point.
When he eventually kept repeating it, saying there are no campers by this name, I thought, can he see dead people then? Is this what's going? And
It might be.
I mean, did you think that, James, as well? My mind totally flipped to, can he see dead people then, or is it just me?
Well, I was thinking it was more when because he says about that when a camper misses their parents too much, they sometimes like imagine people. So I was thinking that they were all like imaginary friends that he made up or something at that point.
See, I thought like you, I did actually think, is he imagining some of it because he missed his parents? But mainly, my main thing the first time I watched it was, I thought it was going to be one of those things where Billy is Saber, because we're seeing it from Billy's point of view. Sometimes it seems like Saber's somewhere else, but that's actually Billy, and we're going to see that a bit like he's like the werewolf, a bit like Curse the Were-Rabbit from Wes and Gromit. I don't know.
Apologies, Rain. I've been saying your name wrong the whole time.
But I'm gonna play the reveal,
you
and
iconic
it is nuts for anyone who's grasped the story we've been telling so far. The reveal of this is absolutely bonkers. So I'm going to play it. It's about a minute long. It's just whatever you thought was going on. What did you think Sable was? What do you think was just nothing? You would never guess this in a million years.
You're a liar. What about Mike Snakebite? The Saber eating Roger? Jay and Colin drowning?
Mike, Jay, Colin, we have no campers by those names.
Liar! You're a liar!
Calm down, Billy. I think I know what's going on here. Larry? Do we have any boys with those names?
Never heard of them.
George? Nope. Now, listen to me, Billy. Sometimes, if you get too homesick, you begin imagining things, seeing things.
No way.
Put down that weapon, Billy, or you are going to be very, very sorry.
No, I'm not.
Put it down, Billy! Now! Ah! Congratulations, Billy. He passed! Billy passed!
There are two things then I was thinking. I forgot how much they hype that up with all the camera shots and the music, and it's really. But also, we both laughed, and I don't know if we saw you laugh as well from what we could see on the camera feed there. When he turns to George, and George just goes, "Nope."
Yeah, hilarious.
What did you think of that reveal when you watched it?
Yeah, it was just incredibly insane, like, especially just after that bit as well, where basically his two parents come out and basically said it was a massive experiment, and it's like weirdly Billy's reaction's fine, where I feel like his reaction should have been incredibly traumatized. Because it's like just the amount of like overload in that moment of like basically seeing, because I think they say it's like a big government experimental
Yeah,
base or something. Like,
now, I'm not going to give away the second twist of what
yeah.
the experiment, the purpose of the experiment, what is going on to, but I'll talk people through. You then see his friends all come out one by one, and apparently these two, when they fell out of the boat, and I can't believe he didn't bother checking this.
Someone out of the nearest
But they
bush.
were basically, they said they survived falling out of the boat because they just went under the boat because there's an air pocket under it. And I thought, why would he not check that?
Yeah, they basically did like a Pirates of the Caribbean where they just like have the little air pocket under the boat.
And then they explained Mike away that this was the bit I didn't like either, because Mike had a toy snake, but when he got bitten, it was quite obviously a real snake. And it was a big snake. It probably wasn't a venomous one. It looked like a constrictor. It's a massive snake, and the camera pans on it during when he just after he gets bitten. And at the end, he's got this small snake he's throwing about like toy snake.
That rubber one, yeah.
And then Roger was back, which I was not happy about Roger being back.
Yeah, same.
I don't know what you thought about Roger. He's the one who told all the jokes. It's like little, like the Fonz if no one likes him, sort of thing.
Nah, they should have lost him.
Yeah, agreed.
I'd rather, yeah.
So it was a government.
There's milk in it, isn't there?
It was a government operation because they needed to test Billy. They needed to test their courage. They knew when to follow the rules and when not to follow the rules, because his parents need to go on an expedition somewhere. And I've got another clip. I'll just go upload it to this. But they're going to go on an expedition somewhere. So he's got to train for that. And we're going to tell you in a minute where. But also we get to see Saber is an actual thing. And then we get to see it. I think I've got a photo.
And no, it's not from The Office. Just, no, it's nothing related to that. So no conspiracy theories behind that, please.
So we got Saber, and it's really weird because back in the 90s, obviously this is what they thought was high tech. George has got like loads of these. He's got these two weird handles, and he just turns them in different ways, and it can make them roar and everything.
And it's not what you think with this photo.
But
he's got the handles back there.
But that would be a big enough twist on its own. But I think the fact that it puts a second twist on it, and I'm going to play it for everyone. It's just
like some sort of puppetry, isn't it?
They just tell you. Yeah, it does look like Falcor.
Yeah.
But that's it. It's not just a government experiment, right? This is where his parents are going, that he needs to train to go with them.
Better go get your things packed, Billy. Expedition leaves first thing in the morning.
Where are we going?
Very far away. A place called Earth.
Research tells us the aliens there are pretty dangerous and unpredictable.
Bet you they're not as crazy as Larry and Uncle Al.
You never know, Billy. You never know.
I love the way you shook your head then. What were you thinking when they did that at the end?
It's so stupid. Like, it takes away all the threat. Like the first twist is like it's genuinely quite unnerving that they go all the way to this level to do like a government experiment, right? And as like Billy's reaction's weirdly fine with this, but then they just add that in, and it's like, what the hell are they doing with this?
It added to the whole. What the hell's like? It was so out there. I was like, I like that.
I referred immediately after that, like the hologram deck in Star Trek. So I was like, basically, is all this a hologram apart from the people around?
Well, no, the thing,
and that's what did me.
The thing that got me was as soon as that happened, I thought,
this is the holodeck. Okay.
I kind of thought that was smart, but like you, at the same time, I thought, so there are these aliens. And their world is so similar to ours that they go to camps. I thought it was brilliant, that second twist. I don't know. I feel like this, if you watch some more episodes of Goosebumps, this won't be your favourite. But this was my favourite one personally. Although I'm not usually a fan of the two-parters. I think none of them need to be two-parters. But
Rain mentioned one of her favourite ones in the books as well. It's like Cheese and Die.
Oh, Say Cheese and Die. That's got Ryan Gosling from Barbie in it as well, so we might have to look at that at some point. Because, but what did you think about the episode overall, James?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty enjoyable. And again, the twist is, I think definitely the first twist is a very interesting one, which you won't really expect. I just think it's way too far out. I mean, I just say possibly with other episodes, like if I watched other episodes, then that might possibly like give me the same vibes in a way and like understand it a little bit more. But yeah, it's completely out of nowhere. Which it's kind of like a so bad it's good thing. Like it's really funny, but like for the wrong reasons. But yeah, overall I think it was pretty good. Like really good kind of like level of suspense as like things continue as well, with like the more people going missing, and as the mystery deepens with it, kind of like the more suspense and tension builds up. So yeah, for first Goosebumps, pretty good.
Do you think it would have worked as well if Al's character had been different?
Yeah, I think his character was just perfect. I think, to be honest, like, I think if he played it any more straight, I don't think it would have been really as fun in a way. I like kind of the way that it was the juxtaposition of him being this happy camper, but also with this kind of like sinister side underneath it in a way. So.
Just letting you know, I've got a little saber here, but
Aww.
we are getting more of a gender. So just bear 1 minute. Mummy's just really watching me at the minute, and I want us to get on the room. So
it's turned to guinea pig vision.
So apologies to change the subject here. People said they could.
What did you think of the ending?
I thought,
well, I thought it's brilliant. I don't think anyone watching now or on catch up who hadn't watched it before could have told me. I mean, Gareth says he mentioned aliens, but Gareth mentioned that person would be the boss of the aliens. I don't think he mentioned that Billy would be an alien as well.
The little fluffy one.
No, that's Autumn. That's a baby one.
This one is Autumn.
Aww.
This
So
one's
cute.
the baby of Mummy, which I was trying to get Mummy, but Mummy wasn't too happy. So
yeah, I apologise a bit about how disjointed the show had been tonight, but we need to promote a bit more if you want. Scare Seekers is coming back. The main Scare Seekers, because this is Scare Seekers episode.
Yeah,
a bit more about it?
Yeah, so the first episode we got up at the moment is it was technically recorded, I think it was summer last year, which was about the Dark Pasty tour, where me and Aaron went down to the darkest depths of Cornwall and went to Joe's for about a week. And yeah, it was just basically catching up on all that stuff, simply because that was already recorded and edited and stuff before we took our little hiatus. So I thought we could get that one up. It was originally going to be that I was going to try and get the next episode up, which we recorded new next week. But on the subscription I've got for this podcast feed thing, I have to wait like 23 days or so till like the storage resets again. So as soon as that happens, the next episode's ready to go out. And then I say it'll be about every 6 to 8 weeks, I think, just to kind of work with schedules a little bit better. But and the first episode is basically just like going over like everything that we've been through last year, like all the different scare events and stuff, and just talking utter nonsense as normal. So yeah, very enjoyable and fun. So great to be back.
Just for quickness, because I've just stolen Mummy. This is Winter.
Okay.
So gingery looking. But yeah, I just thought I'd show you that because baby's going crazy.
I don't really. I probably won't talk about it again. I don't want to promote it on here because it's something totally different. But I know James already knows about it. If anyone wants to look at it, message me privately. I'll give you a link. But I've got another channel where I look at episodes of Goosebumps and Are You Afraid of the Dark, and it's not live, so it's all edited together better than I did tonight. But if anyone wants to see that, message me. I don't really advertise it. It's a bit of a side thing, but I've got a few on there. I've got a few more coming up. Dead Time Story is another one that's good. But we kind of got through that pretty quick in the end because I did most of it. Is there anything else you want to say about this episode?
The only other thing I could think of was with Sabre, it reminded me very much of like a cheaper looking American Werewolf from London. In a way, like with the look of it, like the way, like especially like it ran and everything. Like it just reminded me of that massively.
I'll tell you. I was gonna say we could do for our watch along next month, maybe a Goosebumps episode. I don't know. Maybe get Rain on as well if she wants. I know she wants to talk about the tribe as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, if you message us on Instagram, anyone who wants, I'll give you my link to my YouTube where I do that stuff. But I keep it separate from all this stuff. I don't really advertise it. People find it. Tales of the Unexpected is a great show, by the way, if anyone remembers that. But I don't really know what else to say. I kind of got through that pretty quick. It's a good. I will put the link for this in the description once this live's over, and go and watch it. Someone's put it on YouTube, both parts in one bit. But I think it's a great episode. I watched it again, and I thought it was good. It's my favorite Goosebumps episode. My second favorite one. I don't know. I think my second favorite one for the twist in it is The Girl Who Cried Monster, but I don't know what my second favorite one for the story. Whereas this ticks both boxes for me.
I still need to find my favourite one yet. I've not watched them all. I've only watched them from a very young age.
Erie, Indiana, yeah.
Even then, I don't remember some.
I'll probably do Erie, Indiana on that other channel, yeah. What are you doing at the weekend? Oh, do you want to tell everyone what you're doing at the weekend, actually, James? On Saturday?
Yeah, I'll be at for the first time the pirate takeover at Alton Towers with the Joneses as well. So it'll be nice to meet up with them as well.
Are you going to have snow?
Hopefully, fingers crossed. Yeah, it'll be and that'll be my first time having snow at Towers as well. So that'll be great.
Oh, I'll get some good photos in as well.
Definitely.
But speaking of that as well, I've got my. I'm sorry, I'm just plugging this in now. I've got my photography challenge that started this month, and the prompt is red. So obviously appropriate enough, but anything red.
Just to answer Gareth, they've done Goosebumps on Disney Plus, but from what I believe, it's not as good because Goosebumps was always good because it was a horror anthology, whereas I believe the one they've done on Disney Plus, the new one, the episodes continue on from each other, which I don't think works as well. They've done the same with Are You Afraid of the Dark on Paramount Plus, which I don't think works as well. But if anyone wants to watch, these are all on YouTube as well. You can find them. Someone's got a channel with them all. Another one I review on this other channel. It's aimed at slightly older kids. It's called The Haunting Hour, and some of the endings you get on those episodes are very dark.
James, we will have to send you those because there's one already that I watched before this show, and it freaked me out.
Oh, the one with the doll.
Actually.
Not only is that a two-parter,
and I don't get freaked out at dolls, but there's one thing that did freak me out.
Not only is that a two-parter, I don't know if this is going to spoil the ending, but after that two-parter,
we'll talk
in a later series, that doll comes back for another story. It's quite good.
No, but yeah, just to let you know about the photography challenge as well. Obviously, the prompt is red this month. It's just like a little shout out that I'm just putting on my highlights. So if you just tag me in it, if you put it on your stories or on your posts, Stacey _ L2E, and then obviously I'll make sure I put it on my stories and I'll post it on my highlights as well. So yeah, that's it.
And Rain's going to Comic-Con.
Yeah, which Comic-Con? Whereabouts? There's so many Comic-Cons going off at the minute, and I'm like, because there's obviously this HorrorCon that's in November, I do believe, that's in Manchester or Birmingham. But there's so many different things.
And happy birthday to Jessica, who's going to be 8.
Happy birthday,
I remember
Jessica.
being 8. It was fun.
Hope you have a lovely weekend. You even get a little nibble off the piggies just there, but they're doing a bit of DIY on their log cabin.
Shall we wrap it up there?
We might do it in another room next time.
Next week got a lounge episode, so we'll probably talk more Nemesis, more Ripsaw. Hopefully we'll have the Joneses on because we started something last month on the lounge episode where they compete in a quiz, the three of them, and I'm keeping score. And currently Andrew's winning because whoever wins it gets 2 points, second 1, and last gets none. So at the moment, Andy's winning that. And at the end of the year, I'll give whoever wins it a prize. But
nice. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching and joining us and putting your input in the comments. It's been lovely to see everyone. See us again.
And thank you for joining us, James.
Yay.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for putting up my terrible crew internet.
Are you going to watch more?
I appreciate you coming back on again.
Because you didn't know about these horror anthology shows.
I sort of knew of them, but never had watched them before. But I had actually watched your other channel going into these things, and yeah, they were really good kind of summaries of them in a way. So that was a really good kind of starting point in a way. So yeah.
I do have a question for Rain. Are you actually doing cosplay as well? Clearly you would be because you're so good at doing your cosplay stuff. Just thought I'd ask what you're cosplaying as.
But yeah, I'd check out the Haunting Hour. That's what I'd recommend to everyone. I mean, I could list off a load of shows that I like Goosebumps, but Haunting Hour is R.L. Stine as well. It's literally Goosebumps for older kids. And yeah, I mean, Goosebumps is good. Goosebumps is probably the best one of these style shows, I think. But I always thought Are You Afraid of the Dark was scarier, especially the intro. But
I did as well. I thought it was quite eerie.
And what was weird is both those shows were made in Canada, but If anyone's watching us catch up, just tell me what you thought of Al. Was he the best character? And did anyone actually guess the twist? But with that, I think. Oh, do you want to say something before we go?
No, that was it.
What if? If.
Just make sure and give us a like and then share us around because we are.
And check the links in the description for James's channel because he's got some. He'll have some pirate vlogs eventually, won't you?
Yeah, I should be doing a vlog for the weekend. I also the most recent one was a Power Wash Simulator video, but for some reason it's had problems with like processing. So it says it's on pending visibility, but you can watch it. I think it's like you can see it in the playlist, but not in uploads. It's weird. So there's that video, a load of other gaming stuff as well. But yeah, I'll be doing the pirate takeover as probably next video. I think I'll be recording. So yeah,
the second because we do this Scare Seeker Undertow on the second Thursday of the month. Second Thursday of next month is the Thursday before Alton Towers opens.
Very interesting.
I can't wait. I'm excited.
I'm sure Rain will get in touch. I'll let her know what the other. If anyone wants to know what my other channel is for the horror stuff, message me.
Rimmer,
I don't advertise it on here.
Just so you know, Rimmer, I've met him in person. I've got signatures.
That's same.
Yeah, and Craig's
unpopular opinion. I actually think his best role was Mr. Britus, not Rimmer. But
yeah, Mr. Britus. Yeah.
Do you know our catchphrase, Stacey?
Do I know it? Yeah. Excuse me.
Whenever I ask James, he doesn't know.
Your catchphrase.
Yeah, that's the joke.
So we'll see you. Because for now,
we're gone.
Bye.